What the juck is, everybody? Gender here, back at it with another Ctene Boss Mule showcase. This time it's the Wild Hunter remastered and now in my lineup of characters that I'll be liberating and getting some mesos every week. Alright, so this Wild Hunter, when I recorded this, did not have a Raw of Restraint or any Ozring, and it also is still waiting for a Slime Ring. However, if we look at its stuff, we are still sitting at 90 mil CP, which is still quite good. And then we've got about 130 sack. Everything's level 1 besides the two, 5th job boost nodes. About 450, frags invest into this character. And then we have a quick squiz at its gear. It is running a black card. That's why the CP numbers are a little inflated. We do also have a triple boss secondary, which also aids in that. So yeah, running a basically no 4th ring at the moment. If this was a slime ring or something better, this could easily be a little higher. And then most gear is at least fake 3-line to an extent. The hat is -1 second cooldown reduction, which is, I don't think it's that helpful on Wild Hunter. I know they really love cooldown reduction, and you ideally want like -4 plus, which is not reasonable. So yes, let's get into the recording. Alright, we start off, as always, by buffing up. Let's zoom through this, as we have a lot of bosses to get through. Alrighty, so what do I think of Wild Hunter? I like it. If you like Ren, you're gonna like Wild Hunter. It is pretty much, the class is identical. Wild Hunter just looks bigger, and it's a little more slippery because you have some cracked out move speed. The Hurricane's also, I do like Ren Hurricane a little more, just because I like the sword slashes instead of just like the moving bullets or the moving arrowheads. Immediately get a false start in Vhilla, so we just go again, and we burst up. So immediately starting with the Origin. I really do like the Origin, though I don't like the Ascent. The Ascent is a bit meh. I wish that they probably could have done a better job. You'll see it eventually, but you just summon in a giant like crossbow turret? Like what? Where's my Jaguar? What kind of... The Jaguar do some cool shit. And there is some getting used to where your hitbox actually is, because you aren't actually this tall, and you aren't actually that thick. It's very... it does take some time getting used to. But Wild Hunter does have some of the best mobility in the game. Probably, I think it is the largest up jump in the game, and then you can up jump into a flash jump, which is always quite nice. And they're like, up jump is so crazy that they're like innate up jump just feels weird. It's also a micro dash as well, but it feels so like stiff in like comparison, and you're better to just keep on moving. The Wild Hunter works on all your Jaguar skills are on like a very short cooldown. You spam them basically all at once, and you can just keep holding down the Hurricane while that happens. Every minute you bring out your boys, the infantry squad, to help you out, and then when you burst, you just press sequence, you iframe during the entire thing, and then you have like a hold down Hurricane skill. It's very similar to Ren. I quite like the kit. Its damage though, its burst could use some help. It doesn't have the greatest burst, but it's got some pretty good consistent damage, so Will isn't miserable. So I'm looking forward to, as I said again, I didn't say this, but in Crown, I do believe Wild Hunter are getting buffed, and I think it is about 9% FD. So out of the gate, I think after Crown, this will be 9% faster, just off the cuff, which is fantastic news. And I still need a Raw of Restraint, or a Raw, and I still need a Slime Ring, and I still need to be liberated. So this character can get much faster. Didn't quite calculate its hexa for this video, but it's still running. It's very similar to like the Lin, and maybe something like the Dawn Warrior and the Shade to a lesser extent, but they do have better plots. This is like what burst? This is the second Origin burst, and we're only 43% into the boss. So yeah, this was a long clear of Vhilla, and I'm now recording this post Overdrive, so we do know that we are getting third 6 job skills, and it looks like the Wild Hunters are getting more burst with theirs, which is going to be quite nice. I'm looking forward to trying that out. One of the skills that can be quite helpful with there's two main like gimmicks with Wild Hunter apart from just riding a Jaguar, and that is this skill here. This is a teleport to the boss. I don't think it has a limit on its range. Don't quote me on that, but you can just blink to a boss and you're just there. The next one is a dummy slash. You can like lure the boss. I don't use it that much. It's a little finicky, but you can place it down and the boss could just like aggro onto that, and you can just like free hit the boss, which is kind of nuts. So I do think it works on most bosses. I think it kind of like completely neutralizes Seren, which is like crazy work. But I haven't really mucked around with it. I just go in, hold down my Hurricane, and then use the Jaguar skills every 20 seconds, or well, 17 seconds. I'm not sure if I will push for a -4 on this character, but I do know that it is quite beneficial to get those skills as low as possible. I will probably limit myself to maybe one like a -2, the 21%, maybe something like that. I don't know. Still thinking about it. I was a little hesitant going into like Wild Hunter because sure it was remastered and it's like a shiny new toy and whatnot, but it's a slow burn. Its damage isn't like that, nowhere near on the levels of Hayato, and you really have to be consistent with your usage of being able to like always hit the boss with Hurricane, always be using your Jag skills off cooldown, and the moment your Jag skills become desync, it feels awful. I think we're going to get a third origin skill? A third? Yep. 3 origin skills to kill Vhilla. God damn. So that was a 14-minute and 5-second run on Vhilla. Thankfully, it's the slowest it'll ever be. It'll be faster next week and even faster when we get the Raid the Lightning patch. God bless. I'll be able to... I think this does have the Twilight Mark. It does have the Twilight Mark, so... Even just equipping, I'm not sure how much rental pieces I will pick up on these characters. If I go beyond just the rental raw, or if I do more. But even just the rental raw is going to be such a huge boon for basically my entire account. Next up, Darknell. Darknell is relatively easy because you can just like the moment he does anything, you just flash jump to the other side, and the Jag is pretty quick. I think I highlight just how crazy the up jump is, how high you go up. It's absolutely insane. I do have a lot of fun like piloting Wild Hunter. Despite its like low burst and okay DPM, I do really enjoy piloting the character. It's very smooth to play, which I think triumphs damage. It's one of the characters I look forward to playing because it's just so nice to play. We burst, we bind. I actually should have recorded how much damage each like a burst does in comparison to like a 30-second window does comparatively to like a 90-second window. Maybe next time when I do like a season 2 of these boss clears when like they're all like done. But then again, they're probably all just like 1 to 2 bursting. Especially once we get the the new changes to bosses in Overdrive. Those are insane changes. Alright, I think I've like wasted all my talking points. Like, Wild Hunter's kit is relatively simple. You don't really use their summon. I think that was like one thing they should have done with the Wild Hunter remaster is have their... It's similar to like Ren Ball, but it only has a fighting mode, so it's here, right here. And you just throw it out, it does damage every like 6 seconds. I wish that it was kind of like Ren's Ball where you could have a boss mode that you can also chuck out with your Jaguar skills. And like they don't really have... anything else. Like before the remaster, they had like 2 placeable turrets, and it's like now it's like all just you have this mystical Jaguar now, and that's really it. And I failed to dodge that very well. So Darknell at least is much faster than Vhilla. I swear I am running 1350. I'm running 1350 arcane power in this, so I do get the bonus damage on Vhilla. And this is looking to be... It's still a decently long run. A little long for my liking. Ideally, Darknell should be done within like 2 origins max. So that's like ideal. So our run is like 6.5 minutes. Anything longer than that, that's a little draining. And I try to keep it interesting by wasting some more lives. And I think I do see it now, but I am not running VIP buff. So I'm artificially making this run slower than it needs to be because I failed to get the buff out of my inventory. God, I didn't realize that, but now I do. All right, so these runs could be probably like 30 seconds faster. I actually don't know how much the VIP buff makes these runs faster though. All right, so that's a 9-minute, 33-second run, and nothing dropped. So I did get some earrings, but they're not really usable. Like there's like an edge case they're usable, but not for this one. All right, now for Gloom and having to suffer through the 1-minute loading time that it takes to actually damage this boss, which is always fun. And we can just zoom through this fight. You'll see how much burst they do when it opens. We go from like what 95% down to with the origin just shy of 20% with the burst. Now it's really annoying because Wild Hunt has more DPM than burst. It's because of how little the eyeballs open. You can't really do much. I can't even open it on its second one. Like, I don't get it beyond the 70% threshold. I die, and it's like basically all over. Going for the second burst. At least like with the second burst, I can get it down past 70%. God bless. But even then, 10% off with a burst with no origin. It's like this takes a while. It feels like I am missing something as well in my kit. It's like, well, like is it really? Like I'm 90 mil CP. Like surely it's not taking like is it because of the raw? Like maybe I have to like I dare say go cont instead. It is interesting. Just the damage like disparity between like these classes and well, the Wild Hunt and the other ones I've been playing, mainly relating it to the Shade and the Dawn Warrior. They're roughly the same CP and they clear much faster. But to be fair, they do have a raw 3, which does make a pretty significant difference. So we'll see come next week just how much faster these runs are. So I'll do a cheeky recording of them all, basically all my characters. God, it's gonna be a lot of work. Just to get those timings to see how much faster it is. It'd be nice to see their improvements and how they improve over the weeks. So it's what, nearly 8 minutes into the fight, 7 minutes of it actually damaging Gloom. Going for, this is the second origin, it's all delayed. Don't quite get down to kill it just yet. I think it closes, I gotta wait till it opens again. Oh god, especially if I get hit by darkness, jeez. Alright, let's talk a bit more about its survivability. It has an iframe, and I think it's on a 70-second cooldown. Only lasts 2 seconds, but at least you have one. And then you're also iframed during like the entirety of your burst, which is quite nice. Let's get 10-second iframe. Crazy work. That's a 9-minute and 51-second Gloom, with 8 minutes and 51 seconds of it be actually attacking it. If we take away that 1 minute buffer, we jump into Will. And thankfully with its DPM, you're not actually shit out of luck when you're out of burst. You can actually reasonably kill or punch it through. You can see me use the lower skill there. Like, it's fun, I guess, but it's a little finicky. So I get this too. I don't waste burst, is what I'm trying to say. Save burst for segment 3. But at the same time, I kind of have to save. I don't need to use burst here. I could probably save it and burst out of phase, go out of the gate, but I just use it here because whatever. I do think it might be better if I just normal DPS that. But yeah, outside of the iframes, this class doesn't have much in the terms of healing or damage. I think it has damage reduction. I don't feel it, that's for sure. You can see me playing with the lure, and you can see Will is kind of attacking it instead of me, which is kind of nice. I can just hit in a single position, which is, I don't recommend that, doing that in Will, standing still. But it does make this a little easier, and I just send it when burst is available, just because I need it as soon as possible in phase 3. get through the test and keep bonking Will. I forget about the lure skill and I run into the web and die. all in a day's work. As we get through phase 2. What else is there to talk about? Wild Hunter. I guess mobbing. I've been like messing around mobbing with it while doing its dailies, and it seems okay. Nothing too great. But then again, I've been doing active farming, whereas you don't want to be doing that for long hours. I've heard criticism for its new farming skill that it's leaps and bounds worse than in its previous version. To be fair, I don't even have Janus unlocked in this character, so I can't really attest to how well it farms in the late game. I can only really score it on its bossing capabilities. I do think its main draw, like lure or main sell, is that it is a very smooth class to play. There is nothing rigid or inflexible about it. So that was a 9-minute and 49-second clear of Will. So these are they're not fast runs. They are long. As we dive into Lucid. Had a false start. Lovely. Nothing else in drop gear. Go in for a burst. Decided to use the Origin because I know like these are going to be long runs. I can just flat out start with the Origin and try to make phase 1 less miserable, because there's a lot of things that can just kill you outright in phase 1 Lucid. If you're not careful or if you're not paying attention, which usually not paying attention in phase 1 Lucid, yeah, Lucid can just straight out kill you. Between not knowing what side Dragon's on and having to guess, Golems being dropped on you, and then Lucid TPing you into Golems, yeah, lots can kill you in this phase. Especially if you don't like sit on one of the portals that open to protect you from the bomb, you could just be shit out of luck. And then phase 2 is relatively less lethal. But there are still some annoying things that can get you if you aren't careful. And then Lucid's fucking annoying by moving around. I don't really hit her. Really annoying for DPM classes, but at least there you have some nice movement with Wild Hunter, because you can just hold down your skill while you move around. Can't flash jump. You can flash jump. The tech there. You can't do that on other Hurricane classes. As we blitz through these, look, if the runs are this fast, it looks kind of nice. It's like, oh, this is a nice cadet's like a 2-minute Lucid. No, I'm at 4x speed right now. Be absolutely wild playing at this speed. Just you gotta pass anything, it's just impossible. Going for the second Origin, I die immediately afterwards because I don't know how I died. I thought I was iframed. Nope, that was the resistance. Which is quite nice when you're learning bosses. You get that initial like 10-12 seconds of invulnerability when you respawn, which is fun to DPS in. And it's good for like Will mid-clears, because phase 3 is a little annoying when you don't have the damage. I do manage to finally get Lucid into phase 3, and I think I have 2 ascents. You can kind of see the ascent animation here. You roar, and then you don't even see it. You're moving so fucking fast. You roar, and then you drop a turret onto the top of them. Like, okay, cool. Awesome. Alright, now for Slime. Honestly, I should start doing Slime like 3rd or 2nd, because I think across the board, it is like the 2nd longest fight in all my like boss clears. Like this is, because you don't get the bonus with Arcane Force, like Slime takes a bit to get through. Like he is a beefy motherfucker. And there's also, he probably has the longest downtime with his test. Like his test is, it's not annoying, but it is tedious. Like you gotta place the things down, you gotta make sure you block the gates. It's like, ugh, all this work. I do introduce the tech via Origin when he's groggy, because you do get the bonus damage, and then I just int, because why not? Gotta keep things interesting. I managed to dodge that one. Yeah, it's looking like that's like what, 33% in 2 segments. Oh god. Yeah, in for a long one. I'm not sure if I said it, but it was an 8-minute and 50-second clear on Lucid. And all these timestamps are going to be in the description below. It's like, I don't know why I'm... Look, something to talk about. Something to talk about as we get through this run. Yeah, at least with Slime, like you have no issue maneuvering around. Like if he does an up jump to use his slam attack, you can easily just, like, there is no animation for you to get out of. Really nice to kind of like be able to react to things in Wild Hunter. I would say their dash is a little not responsive. Like it's far easier to flash up out of something than like to dash out of it. Their dash is very, I don't use it. Like it's very I don't know what they were thinking with it. It just feels so weird. Similar to Ren's dash, you can't use it while holding down the hurricanes. Like what's the point? You may as well just use the flash jump. And it's not like at OP as Ren's where it's a TP. If I get lucky here, get the the yellow flames, so I don't even have to do any of the doors. Origin burst again. This is the second one. Nearly wiped. I'm on 2 lives. Oh god. Did not want to run this boss again. Already taken 10 minutes. And I'll have to do test again. This is like what, 5th test? Like you're in this boss for a long time. I am not looking forward to doing min clears of this boss. You gotta do what you gotta do. And that is Slime. Oh, I fat figured you the G button to open up the guild tab, but we clear it. 11 minutes and 26 seconds. And I do believe I did get a thing for my Star Force room, which is quite nice from time to be so kind. Then we jump into Damien. Kind of annoying being, well, I guess this week, where like that was an origin burst and he's already took 40% of its HP. And I think I get him down to like 40% before burst comes back up. So you're in this awkward spot where like, do I just chip through and phase him, or do I burst again to instantly go to phase 2? Extremely awkward. As I just run into him and die where that diaphragm was cooldown. Probably would have ascended. But instead I just ascent to try and phase him earlier, just so I have burst going into phase 2. Immediately bind and burst, and it is not enough to get him down. It's only like 15%. And I have to kind of like chip out of the rest while dealing with these annoying Damien mechanics that I refuse to interact with, and I just throw my life count into it. Miss up the test. Eventually clear it. And that was a 4-minute and 14-second clear of Damien. Yikes. And then the last Ctene boss. Or last one on the list. It gives us Pitch Whisper crystals. Maybe we should call them the Pitch Whispered bosses. That doesn't include Saren. I don't really want to do Saren everywhere. Yeah, burst through phase 1, DPM through phase 2. We managed to get out of it before burst comes back up, which is quite nice. And then we have Origin and Burst to get through this wireframe the entire thing, and we just completely nuke phase 2, which is quite nice. And then we do it. That's a 2-minute 26 Lotus run, which is quite nice. And then we have all the baby bosses. So let's just blitz through this. Go fucking super speed as we finish up this VOD. The overall rating of Wild Hunter, I like it. I said that the second time I said it. I think it's a decent class. It could use a bit more damage, but it's getting that. And I do need to see how this class pilots or functions with a raw, and then juicing it up with a bit more damage. But that does it here as we time it. 1 hour and 24 minutes to do this without Slime Ring, without, what's the other one? The Raw. And we can see an overview of the times here. And that does it. That is Wild Hunter Ctene at 90 mil CP. Hex is probably between, I think it's around 40k, maybe around a little lower. Honestly, I should have gotten it, but I didn't, so we can get a nice comparison to the other ones I've done. But you can kind of see this compared to the Lin, how the Lin did. The Lin did a similar time at like 74 mil CP. Well, that does it for me. As always, thank you all for watching. Have a fucking good day. Catch you all in the next one.